Hello.
Hello.
So this is looking at Discord as a potential communication tool within a unit, and looking at how basically it functions if you've never heard or seen Discord before. So if I share my screen, what you should be seeing now is the Discord interface. These are people that I am connected to as friends. What you can do though is create what's called a channel, and this allows you to communicate to a whole range of people that want to be part of that channel. So I'm going to click the plus and it's not channel, a server, my mistake. So I'm going to add a server. And what I'll do is I'll click to create a server. But again, if someone else had already made one, so again, for your students, you'd be able to put this link into Moodle. They can click join a server and just add the URL to your Discord server in there, and they'll be able to join if you make it publicly available. So I'm going to create a server.
So presumably to do that, students will have to be registered with Discord. But if they get this link, then it will take them to a link to register and they can use their MyPort address, and it's quite straightforward, yeah?
Yes, yeah, it should be. And again, I think a lot of people are using Discord in a very different way. Obviously, Discord is not an educational tool by its nature. What it is something that was created by essentially gamers a good few years ago now, where computer games never used to have, especially on the PC, a chat function. And what this did was they created Discord to allow people to play computer games online and then chat to their friends while playing those games. And it's grown from that. So for instance, in mine, there's some there for some board games I play with people. So while we're using, again, an online board game sort of tool, we use Discord to have the chat, and we can jump in and out, and we can also use it to post messages. Because the good bit about Discord, and I'll kind of get to this now, is when you've created a channel, you can invite friends already if you have anyone. So if I find Stu and invite you to the channel. But what I can also do, if you're obviously not necessarily friends with students or have anyone that you want to invite, you can copy that Discord server link and put that into Moodle, where they'd then, like you say, be able to click the link and go through the process of registering. So you can see who is online, and then you'd be able to see who isn't. So again, you may already use Discord, but you might want to create, using your @port address, another email account purely for learning and teaching. So essentially have two separate accounts, one for if you use this personally, but if you've never heard of Discord before, then just register with an @port address, and it becomes a private tool anyway. It's the fact that I obviously currently use Discord in my other life outside of work, where I'm able to communicate with other friends for different reasons. So you can personalize your server with an icon. So basically, you can add an image. If you had an image for the unit, or you could add the UOP logo so students know that that's what it is. And essentially, it's giving you the flexibility to create what you want within it. So what you can see here is there are text channels and voice channels. And actually, although it says voice channels, if I enter a voice channel, you can see down the bottom here that I can turn on my video camera, and I can also screen share from it. So you could use it to demonstrate something. You could use it as you would do Google Meet. You could use it as you would do WebEx or Zoom or any other basically conferencing type softwares. If I click disconnect, I'm not being kicked out of the channel. I'm just leaving that voice channel. Sorry, I'm using channel and server interchangeably when actually they are two different things in this bit. So disconnecting disconnects you from that voice channel. What it doesn't do is disconnect you from the entire server. As you can see, I'm still online within my learning and teaching server channel. So again, what I can do is I can create a new channel. So I could create one for assessment questions. Create the channel. So there's now a channel in my text chat called assessment questions. I could have one for open discussion. And again, that could be there for people just to essentially use this as a community space where they are able to discuss anything and everything. And you can do the same with voice channels. You could have a voice channel for just called social. And so you can see now that obviously Stu is also now online as well in Discord and has joined into the theory chat. So if I join that channel with him there may be some echo as we are in two different places.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. But you could hear then that we were having a conversational chat through Discord, which is why we got the echo through the Google Meet. But I can go into open discussions. I can see that there's a message. And again, you'll notice that, so for instance, my game of bands, there are 3 unread messages. And with the role-playing channel, there's 1 unread message. So again, if you're running a couple of units, you'd be able to see the messages in each separate unit because you wouldn't have to do it all under one learning and teaching banner. You just create a brand new server to the unit that you're running. Obviously, this is a whole other system. And again, it's not one supported by the university. It's not one that we are currently able to integrate or have standardized logins or anything like that for. So again, Google Meet and WebEx get that kind of sort of section covered. But just in terms of running and managing a more social communication sort of idea where people can jump in and out, like I say, you can have that link to the Discord server in your Moodle unit, and people can use that to just jump into Discord. And once you've done it once, it'll just be in your Discord. So again, it will then depend if you are running 1 or 2 different sort of user accounts. You'd have to log out of your current account to go to another one, which again, some people won't mind doing. Some people would find a little confusing.
Presumably students can create then their own channels within this. So you can, because I'm seeing the main advantage of this as a bit of a novice, as it sort of bridges that gap where sometimes students don't want to take part in Moodle forums or something like that because it feels a bit too worky. This maybe feels a bit more like the students have some control, but it's in a space that you designed. Is that right?
Yes, and equally, that what they might do is create their own server for their own discussions outside of it. So, for instance, with this game of bands thread, what this is something from another website. They use Discord as the discussion bit, but basically you get put into a group of 3 people and you write a song in the space of a week. That is the overarching game of bands thread on Discord. However, what tends to happen, and I think I've deleted most of mine now because they're all gone, but when you're part of a group, what tends to happen is people will create a group for just the 3 of you that are doing it. So you'll have another Discord channel where you're able to sort of throw up your music ideas, throw up your lyric ideas, share files. You can do all of that within this ecosystem within another separate server. So you're not necessarily doing it within Game of Bands because you're competing against other people, but you're doing it within this. But you still have the main overarching thread that you can jump back into at any point. So yes, you could have it that you create. So again, I could create group 1 as a section. So there's a voice chat for just group 1. However, group 1 could create a brand new server called group 1 and have their own space in Discord. The plus to this over other bits is I think there will be a lot of students that are already using it. Again, the chances are it's probably a fairly niche few, especially those who do gaming, role-playing, and that kind of interaction online. But there will be some students that are already used to this ecosystem and have servers and stuff for their other bits. So having one for learning and teaching wouldn't necessarily be the end of the world because they just jump in and out of that as they need it for their taught materials. And again, Discord works on every device. It's got a standalone platform. You can do it on a web browser and you can get it on your phone as well. So it's a really easy way to kind of link things together.
I think that's the important thing is when you're pitching it to students is to make it clear why you're using it, because there are sometimes benefits in bringing in a new bit of software just for the novelty because it will liven something up. But actually, this feels like a good way of structuring group work across a semester, for example. It might be that you say, okay, we're going to do all this in Discord. All the information you need is in Moodle, but the channels will be set up in Discord where I'll share some information as the lecturer, but also you can make your own groups and talk to each other. So they know that's where they're going for that. And like you say, they can get it on their phones, and it somewhat ameliorates some of the issues where people don't always have the best equipment to be doing online learning. This is intentionally designed to be quite agile.
Yes, definitely. And it would be a bit where you could say, right, on a Monday, I will have a Google Meet where I take question and answers, but on a Wednesday, I'll run it in Discord. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, like you say, trying to be as agile in doing the same task. So yes, you could use WebEx, yes, you could use Meet, you could use Discord. I think the reason I like Discord is the fact that you can, so if we go to my Imperial Assault channel, just to get the geekiness out of me, but we're able to share sort of screenshots of the game. We're able to kind of discuss rules outside of the actual playing of it, so that we can then go to those links next time and use them again. So it's all sort of threaded in a history of what we've done. But again, so it doesn't get too cluttered. That's why you have multiple sort of text channels. Mm-hmm. And again, for some, like for Portsmouth on board, for the people who like doing board games, they on a Wednesday have like 5 different sort of voice chats, so that people can go and join a game, and you're all set. Although you're all sort of together, you're basically jumping in and out of a single group chat for the game you're playing. Mm-hmm. But over the course of a night, you might jump between 3 different groups. Mm-hmm. So you start playing with a few people, then you go, oh, we'll finish that game. You'd go to a text chat and go, I'm thinking of starting this new game, and then jump into another voice chat with a whole other set of people.
Which sounds like it'd be really good for breakout rooms in seminars, for example, if you wanted to have one central discussion, but then let people have little discussions amongst themselves, particularly if we had a particularly large group. This feels like quite a user-friendly and straightforward way of managing that.
Yes, yeah. You create the voice channels or the text channels for the group on its own, and then you have that bit where they can jump in and out. So you're not like within WebEx, for instance. Yes, you can create breakouts, but they get pushed somewhere else, and it's then a bit of a problem at times. You still don't have the bit of pre-filling the groups, but actually, because it's so quick and easy for them to self-choose which group they're going into, if you know that there's 20 groups in the class and everyone's working each week in the same 3, they just jump into that channel, and they can. And in fairness, they could create the voice channel with their group name, and they just jump into that each week that you're doing a bit of a breakout. But you know that the general voice chat is where you do the teaching side of it. And as I say, within that, you can do screen share. And actually, compared to other systems, you can do multiple screen shares. So 2 students could share their screen at once. So you basically just it'll get smaller and smaller tiles, but you would get. So if I jump into our group, Stu, and I'm going to mute myself. If I share a screen here, it's called going live, but I'm going to share my screen over there and go live with that. If you join in and share your screen, if you can share your screen, again, you'll probably share our chat as we're doing at the moment, but it's just to kind of hopefully show. There you go. What it's got then is the tiled version of everyone. That's my screen being shared. Stu, that's yours. So I can choose to watch your stream. Obviously, the more streams of videos you're using, the more the bandwidth will be sort of struggling, and it may get to that at the moment. But essentially, I can see that both of us are live, and I can jump between. Oh, you've closed yours. There you go.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's fine. But basically, what it does is you can see who is sharing their screen. And you can choose to watch their stream, and it's all sort of tiled, and it's just very responsive, very dynamic, and kind of a really useful way of working. There are loads of other permissions I'm not going to go into now because I've never needed to use them. But you can set up loads of other permissions under your user settings and what people are allowed to do. Basically, there are some people that have used this in education already, and it's just about what you. Again, I think like what we've always kind of said, you need to kind of think of what it is you want to do and what's the best way to achieve that. Obviously, you don't want to have to run 5 different chat tools. That's not going to be functional for you. But if you're just doing a quick meet, then maybe just stick with Google Meet. If you're doing something that's a bit more connected, but you want it to be as simple as possible, Discord is a potential answer to that.
No, what I like about it is that it feels quite accessible and user-friendly, but for want of a better word, it feels cool as well, which clearly I'm not, but it overcomes some of the inherent clunkiness in Moodle feeling like an educational tool. And I sometimes think that one of the issues with Moodle, although I think we do, like our version of Moodle is better than some I've seen elsewhere, it feels like you have to jump through a number of steps sometimes to do some basic things like use a forum, whereas Discord, it feels like it just does it. And while there would obviously be a learning curve to get used to a new bit of software, once you've done that, it feels like the benefits are quite, well, multiple. That they resolve a lot of issues that a lot of people talk to us about, that they need breakout rooms for sessions. They need students to be able to have their own rooms. They need rooms where they can dip in and listen to what students are saying and answer any queries. And it does that in quite an agile and accessible way. So thank you, Tom.
Thank you very much.